JD here, and as you can see, we are finally back with a league racing video. Apologies, it's actually been a minute since I've done my latest video. Life has got in the way, in a good way, but been very busy. So yeah, been focused on the coaching, other things going on as well. So yeah, haven't actually had too much time to edit and commentate on the video. That should be changing from now to the new game, which I am actually somewhat excited for. But you can see here are the current standings. This is round 8 of the championship, and yeah, if you saw Australia last time out, didn't end in the way I wanted to, and that's kind of been the story of this championship. It's been incredibly up and down so far, as this Q1 lap here was a pretty good start to a session, and you'll see in this qualifying, the Q1, Q2, the pace coming into this at China. China is a track that I've absolutely loved. I've had a great history here. I really enjoy driving this circuit. And coming into this, obviously, we're not too far away in the championship. We've been very inconsistent at times. So I just feel if I have a clean race and I can drive an 8 out of 10, I'm going to be in the mix to at least be challenging for the win. And this is my Q2 lap. Was pretty happy with this as well. Didn't really take too many risks on that lap. So yeah, the Q1, Q2 was going very nicely, and I was actually very optimistic going into the Q3. So when we jump into the Q3 here, this is the first lap I did, and you'll see here now, went massively deep at this hairpin. So I already knew there was quite a bit of time in that. My PB was actually a 29.8 coming into this, and the first lap I did in the Q3 as a banker, this was a 30.2, almost a 1. So, and you hear me saying there, went very deep. So coming into this last lap, I was, again, very optimistic. And the serpent running here was quite low on the downforce. So if you have been joining, or thank you to everyone who has been joining the YouTube membership, if you click that join button and then join my Discord, follow the instructions there, you will get access to all my league racing setups. Also, you'll get to speak to me one-on-one on any questions you have. But you can see, going through this first sector, we are almost a 10th up. So this is actually a really good start so far. First sector split doesn't look incredible, but that's because we are running quite a low downforce. So I wasn't even expecting to do that well in the qualifying. But in this game, low downforce, especially in the race, is actually pretty king. You saw that in F1 Esports with Red Bull, Jarno Opmeer. You need to be running low downforce in the races in this game because ERS is already quite powerful. In order to actually get some overtakes done, you need to be running a low aero package. So far the lap is actually going very well, and I knew there was going to be quite a bit of time coming into this hairpin. So coming off the exit of this right hand onto the straight, we are over a 10th up, but coming into this hairpin, I didn't quite commit the way I normally would, so I didn't actually execute this well. So it was much cleaner, but you'll see I didn't actually gain that much time. So coming into here, we're about a 10th up, and yeah, we hit the apex, gained some time in the middle, but then we're losing quite a bit of the exit. We actually barely gained any time, and then coming through this last corner,
fuck's sake,
we decide to miss the apex by a mile, and yeah, wow indeed. And I was actually feeling quite confident for pole, or at least starting in the top 2, top 3. We ended up coming 7th with that poor lap at the end, and that just shows how competitive this league actually is at the moment. And my championship rivals, the championship leader is behind me, but then Batfall is in 4th place, so it's not the end of the world. But you will see after this turn 1 why starting a little bit more in the midfield is something you don't want to do. So we've got 5 lights here, starting on the mediums. So this is a strategy I was always going to go for. We get a really good start here, but then the Red Bull kind of really just drifts over to the left-hand side. So yeah, within the limit, I would say he was kind of entitled to do that, so that's fine. So we're trying to go around the outside. We're leaving him on the inside, and
for fuck's sake, man, what is it with this fucking league? Are you fucking kidding me?
Honestly, I think on that occasion,
fucking league, man,
I was already being hit before I was even actually turning into the corner, so I don't really think there was too much we could do there. But if we qualified higher up, then that situation might not have even happened. And I can confirm I did have damage, because if you ask your engineer if you have damage and he doesn't say anything to you, it's actually a bug in the game that confirms you do have damage. If you don't have damage, he will come back and say you don't have damage. So, and yeah, just hear me ranting a bit here. So, yeah, at this stage, I was just like, this is just a story of my season. We either drive really well, get good results, or we just get involved in incidents and inconsistencies. Some of them, quite a lot of them, have probably been down to me. But we hit a miracle stroke of luck here, and we get a safety car pretty much at the perfect time as well, because the people on the hards, they're going to go in mediums to the end, and mediums are go wear out pretty quick, especially in the last 5 laps. They will be pretty slow, but coming into the pits here, you will see we have to change the wing. And just to let people know, when you actually select yes to change wing, it will only change your wing if the wing is damaged. It won't just change it anyway. It has to be damaged.
As well, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, my pace.
What pace do we have?
Was really, really good in the race here. We were actually closing in on the pack whilst having a damaged wing. So we're on the hard tyres and we're coming out on P17. But I was actually very optimistic. It's kind of like Singapore, where we got a little bit unlucky with the safety car there as well. I knew with the setup I had, which was very low in the downforce, and the race pace I had, considering how fast we were lapping in the first stint with the damaged wing, I just knew how much more speed I actually had. So I was actually quietly optimistic. We have 14 laps of this race to go, and yeah, now it is game on. So the thing is that a lot of guys at the front, they're on the medium tyres now, so they will be quick in this stage of the race. But after the next 5 to 6 laps, those tyres will really, really start to drop off. They will make it to the end, just about, but I knew that they would really be struggling on the last 5 laps. So we've got to pray for no more safety cars. So safety car free race until the end. You can see we're on P15 here, and thinking about got down the inside, so just trying to bait Anton into an overtake, because this is a really tricky place to overtake because the corner's so tight. It's kind of like the Canada hairpin. You can easily collect the car ahead of the car ahead of you as well. So you can see people starting fast laps of the race. They're in the mediums right now, but every passing lap, the tyres will come to me as we see an opportunity to go down the inside of Boz F1 and just getting this move done. So a lot of these guys ahead of me, well, everyone ahead of me in the hards, I do not have an advantage. We are all on the same freshness of tyres. So all these overtakes I do in the hard runners that you'll see in this race, this is purely on pace. And the setup I was running here, I think it's one of the best setups I've run. It was just so good in the race, such well balanced, really quick in the straight lines. See Anton running out of the deployment, so we're going a little look down the inside. And again, I just didn't want to overspeed too much because it's very easy to then collect the car ahead of you. So just being very conscious of that, trying to force him off the racing line just so he gets a poor exit coming through his last corner. You can see he's run out of deployment, so again, with the lower wings, you can see just how much faster we are in a straight line. And going for this turn 1, he leaves me just enough room. So if he clipped my front wing there, I would have been spun round completely. So yeah, we both kind of navigated that perfectly there on the absolute limit, and we get the move done. So now we're up to P13, and behind my teammate now, we're both on the hard tyres, and I knew I didn't really have to fight this overtake, so he lets me go, which I was very thankful for. So thank you very much, Rene, and do a little gesture of thank you there. Now we're up into P12, and now we're starting to come across some medium runners. So most of the guys ahead of me now are on the mediums. There are, I think, a few hard runners as well, and you can already see Interventions, who was very quick in the qualifying. He is struggling on these medium tyres. So right now, I would say the hard tyre is already the faster compound. I think in general, the hard tyres in this game are just the most consistent, most durable tyre, the most balanced tyre. So yeah, he doesn't have the DRS on the cars ahead. So yeah, just go overtake him without using any of the battery. The issue we have now is that we have a little bit of a gap up to the guys up ahead, so we're not quite within the DRS. And this is what I really practice for in the race practice, is just being fast as possible when not having the DRS. But as we come through turn 2, you can see another incident there. So I was praying there was no safety car, and thankfully there was no safety car, no virtual safety car. But the issue again is there was another gap up ahead, and you can see the couple guys ahead of me, they're on hard, so we are on the same freshness of tyre. I have no advantage, so this is on purely race pace and I'm dragging my teammate along with me as well. We managed to get back within the DRS zone. Took us a couple of laps to do it, but the pace I was doing at this stage of the race, if you're watching the live stream, and I was just really looking for this DRS icon to pop up. That's what we want to see, and yeah, it does. So back in the DRS zone, and now we're going to spend a lap or two recharging. You can see in a couple of laps, we're already almost back up to 100%. And no, we're in P9 here, and we have only 3 laps of this race to go. But I knew the medium runners at the head of this train, they are really struggling on the tyres, and I knew I was really fast on straight line. So Sainz is actually using the ES, but look how much we're closing in with the speed we have. So he's running out towards the end of the show, just got to go down the inside, and Red Bull clips a Ferrari, which then spins him around, and then we get collected by him. So yeah, that was again really unfortunate. The Red Bull just tapped the Ferrari, sent him into a spin. I wanted to make contact with him, and now we're back down to P10, and now we've got 3 laps of this race to go, and you can hear me say, yeah, I'm just absolutely done. But again, we can't give up, because I knew the tyres of the guys ahead of me, they would really be struggling. So trying to go down the inside of Boz F1 again, and yeah, we've lost a lot of time here. But again, we don't have an advantage on tyres. You can just see, look at the traction we have. So the way I build my race setups is that the balance gets better and better when the tyre wear kicks in. You don't either get chronic oversteer or chronic understeer. The balance is really good with the rotation. You can see back up into P9 now, and I think we're going to stay on board here till the end of the race. So you can see leaders are going through the first of the double left-hander. So right here now, we're actually quite some way behind. But again, in my head, I was looking at the situation ahead, and I was just thinking, actually, we could still get a good result. If we could even just out-qualify one of my championship rivals, just one of them, then that could be something for the championship. So we're going to get past my teammate here. He isn't really fighting this too hard, but we've got some cars behind as well. So I have to use the battery. Was trying to give him a slipstream just so he could use that to defend from the cars behind. So really having to use the battery just to help him. But you can see again, look how much straight line speed we have. And because we're running the lower ERS, we aren't running out of deployment that early in the lap. But you can see everyone else is really struggling on the deployment. So we're back up to Sainz again, who we are on the same freshness of tyres. But you'll just see our speed in a straight line, and the balance, the car just kept on gripping up more as the tyre wear on. So a lot of people, the way they do their setups, when their tyre wear kicks in, they really lose the balance. But with my win here, you can just see, look how planted it is. Despite the low downforce, it is really good. And you can see the traction. He was really struggling in the exit. So I'm going to use the ERS here, because we cannot afford to wait another lap. So we're going to go down the inside of the McLaren. He leaves some room in the inside. Get that move done. Up into P7. And the championship leader is right ahead of me now. So, and he is on a hard tyre. So again, there's no difference in our tyre wear or anything at all. This is purely on pace right now. And we've gone from kind of P15 up into P7 here, despite having an instant a lap before as well. So if we didn't have that instant, we'd be right on the back of this train, and there's 1 lap to go after this. But I just knew the pace I had was just really coming towards me, and we've got quite a bit of the battery as well. So the goal was to not use it too much around here, try and save as much as possible for this last lap, because I knew I was very fast in a straight line, and I knew that cars ahead of the Ferrari championship leader here, I think Batful's on the mediums, so I think everyone ahead of him is on mediums, so I knew they would be pretty slow. Oh, this last lap is another instance whilst having to navigate around the chaos and getting 1, 2, and I think we're going to get 3 drivers here, so going from P7 to P4, so no idea what happened there, but really been gifted. So that is a big stroke of luck up into P4, and now the 2 guys ahead of me are my championship rivals. So the championship leader in the Ferrari is right ahead of me, so we really need to try and beat him. But then Batful is the other championship contender as well, and no, the Ferrari's on the same tyre as me, but Batful is on the medium. I think Schumacher has managed to get a little bit of a breakaway. I think he was on the hards potentially, so I knew Batful would be really struggling. And you're going to see, this is where the setup really pays off, because we are very fast in a straight line. So you'll see the way I'm saving ERS here, I'm just trying to save as much battery coming down this back straight as much as possible. And I will link the GASR stream as well if you want to hear the commentary version of this, because it was pretty entertaining. So I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. But right here now, coming into here, we're going up towards 90% of the battery. I knew I was like a bullet in straight line. So Battlefield doesn't have any ERS. You can see the Ferrari really struggling with the balance. So now we're going to deploy the absolute full load of this battery, and let's see how fast we are in straight lines. You can see we're gaining and gaining on this Ferrari, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to the right and left. So we go to the left, he goes to the right. We're going around the outside, and both of them breaking super deep into air, and we go overtake both cars of Ferrari. Try and squeeze me a little bit on the exit, but you can see that traction and that straight line speed. Parking the car on the inside, and we actually overtake both of our championship rivals.
Come on, yes!
Last lap, and
Thanks all the haters.
what a recovery that was. At one point, I think we were absolutely dead last in that race. And yeah, very fortunate with the safety car, but you have to be in it to win it. And yeah, Schumacher, we only finished 1.8 seconds behind, or 1.9 seconds behind in the end. So yeah, that was a bit of a roller coaster of a race. And that just shows you shouldn't give up. No matter what happens, circumstances can change, and if we didn't have that race pace there, we actually had to overtake quite a few cars in that race with no tyre advantage as well. So I think that's one of the best recoveries I've ever done. That probably one of the best setups I've ever used was in that race as well. So make sure you click the join button, join my Discord to get access to that setup. But that is the story of my season. I feel like we have really good pace, but just very inconsistent, and a lot of that is down to myself. This race here, I think a lot of things were out of my control, but when we needed to put on the pace, we delivered it, and that was the outcome. So yeah, let me know what you think. I really hope you enjoyed that, and I will catch you very soon. Peace.